Martin here, Only Vans Guru. This week, it's not a negative one, but it's about a really horrible subject, and that's van thefts. So I've been looking at the data and the statistics. 2021 till 2022, in certain areas of the UK, van thefts were up over 220 and 230%, which is just horrendous. Of the vans noted at that point, right, 6% of them only had trackers. Only 6% had a tracker. 50% of stolen vans didn't have an alarm system. I mean, these are your pride and joys. These are your homes. So coming up, there's a whole list of different security measures, some that I've got. I'm not going to show you the ones I've got, because that'd be really handy for anyone wanting to nick my dilapidated van. But there's some great ones, and there's one that I haven't even thought of, which I'm going to be getting, and it's the cheapest one. It won't stop your van getting stolen, but it will stop you having bits stolen out of your van. So put your feet up, give it a subscribe, and maybe learn something really beneficial. Hi world, hang on. Welcome to Vanlife theft prevention, and don't let this happen to you. So, why is it not tracking? Come here, you. Thank you. So this is Jenny. I've armed her. I've got CCTV, got various locks, and let's discuss today the horrendous rising tide of thefts of motorhomes, camper vans, caravans in the UK at the moment. It's just horrendous. It really is. I'm on quite a few Vanlife forums on Facebook, and every week someone's reporting a van stolen, and the statistics are here. You know, I'll scroll them up on screen. I can't remember them all, but it's just getting worse and worse. And for those of you who are wanting to join in the van life experience, be it, you know, weekends, holidays, or full time, you're going to have that worry. So this video, I'm going to lay out different methods of van life theft prevention, from the cheapest and easiest, and obviously because I'm on a budget, and we'll go through it. When I'm away from my van, I'm not actually going to go into detail what I've got, because that would just be too easy for someone to watch this and then pre-armed and steal my van. But number one for me, of peace of mind, is having the blink cameras on the van. I mean, they're easy, they're cheap. Yes, you do need constant Wi-Fi, but let me find somewhere to sit down on this glorious day. Hear those birds. Straight into it. One of the things that I haven't done, but has come up in my searches for good ideas, is window film. So that if someone's, you know, if you've left stupid things on your seats, someone smashes the window, this film prevents them getting through. Absolutely cracking idea. Put a link down for that, and that's something I'm going to be incorporating in my van. So let's go back to blink cameras. And by the way, everything that I'm going to put down here, there will be, if it's okay with you, an affiliate link on Amazon, so that if you click on it, I get a little percentage. Nothing here sponsored. It's just, you know, if you buy anything, it really helps. Thank you very much. So, blink cameras from Amazon. Always buy them when they're on offer, when they do a Prime Day, because you can get you get a package of 4 of 2 external cameras and an internal one. Internal's brilliant, plus the module. You do not need to have the sort of like £80 a year subscription to it. If you put a USB stick in, it works just as well. Yeah, check that out. And I did a whole thing about that before. look at where I'm at today. So calm. Let's go and sit on this bench and talk about the other bits. So, have you ever locked your van up and worried about whether it's going to be there when you get back? I did once. So with my blink cameras, I once brought up the wrong feed. I brought up a feed from the day before when I was driving and it was still armed. And I saw my van moving. I ran out of the sports centre like, well, just really quickly, only to see it there and then realise what I'd done. But yeah, it's a worry. So right now I'm here, my blink system is armed. It will give me alerts wherever I go if there's movement nearby, and you can check in on it straight away. And then I have the footage when I had the blink internal camera on. Let's insert that now. That keeps you up at night. If you don't like spiders, look away now. Right, so we've done that and we've talked about the security film, which I'm going to look into because that was something that was interesting to say the least. Right, so steering wheel locks. Now I have one of those yellow bars at the moment, but I'm changing that for the complete steering disc system. They are so much better. The bar ones look great. They're a bit of a deterrent, but with a set of bolt clippers, you can cut through the actual steering wheel, take it off and drive away. You know, the thieves don't give a shit about replacing that steering wheel. So yeah, take the extra expense and get yourself a proper full-on one. And then going down from there, we have the pedal lock boxes. These are brilliant. Now I see some actually advertised at the moment on Facebook, on van forums, and I wouldn't recommend those ones because the lock is there. I'm going to try and get a photo, and that can be drilled out or grinded off. Whereas the system that I would use, you cannot get a drill or a grinder to where the lock's situated. So I would go, yeah, I would do that one, do that one. And then everyone's got immobilisers. Okay, well, practically everyone's got an immobiliser. I've got an immobiliser that's so good, it immobilises the van even when I don't want it to. And some mornings it'll take me a few minutes to get going. Note to self, don't use my phone as a bank robbing. Don't use my van for bank robbing because it might not start. But here lies the problem with modern vehicles. So if you've got a very modern vehicle and it's keyless and you just zap to get in, if you're at motorway services or an industrial park, because I see them getting stolen from really busy places, thieves are able to have a scanner going nearby. They'll grab your signal as you lock the van, and then they just retransmit that signal again and they get in. That's how it's done. So you get it in the motorway services, zap your van, go in for a coffee, use the facilities, have a meal, come out and your van's gone. And that's because they've been able to grab your signal. You've not bothered with a disc lock or anything, and off is your pride and joy. Now, there's no way around them doing that, but if you put the disc lock on and a pedal lock, that's going to stop them because they don't want to get a grinder out. Stop it. In the middle of a large busy car park. They just want to walk up, zap it, and off they drive. And that leads on to the next bit about having a Faraday box, so that if you're in it at night, no one can get in. And these are cheap, and I'll put the links. And when I had my own electric BMW, I had my keys inside a Faraday cage box, an absolute must. And on top of that, then you need to find an OBD port blocker or cap so that they can't then get in and then mess with your security systems. Again, it's all really technical, but these are really important bits. You know, your vans are tens of thousands of pounds. For me, it's my home, and I don't want it to get stolen. And it's not an inconvenience to get these bits. Alarm system. Reinforced door locks. I see that. This is more so if you've got a trade van. I just feel for those guys who get their tools stolen, and they're now using angle grinders on the panels to get in, just to get past the locks. And then you see all their gear at car boot sales. Here's an idea, Mr. Policeman, Mr. Plod. Why not go to car boot sales and start checking on all that stuff? Yeah. And end of political rant. Now, my favourite is a hidden kill switch. You can buy these as kits or you can do them yourselves to the starter relay. So especially on an older vehicle like mine, it's absolute must, isn't it? I mean, if they can't start it, they can't take it. Other than I saw one van, it was stolen. It was on a driveway behind a gate, and these bastards turned up with a loader and a crane and just lifted it off the driveway onto their van. Luckily, there was really good CCTV from other people's cameras of exactly who it was. I mean, you don't stand a chance. If someone's got a bloody van and a crane, it's gone, isn't it? Unless you've got a ground anchor. Who's got those? And for us who are living full time in the van out and about, if it goes, it goes. There's no way around that. But insurance and being honest on your insurance policy, and then take photos, make a list of serial numbers of your kit, of your laptop, of your TV, of your air fryer. Document it all, right? Because if you lose it, that's everything, right? And insurance, let's face it, isn't going to pay out for what you're worth and what you're owed. So take some time this weekend and list everything you've got. With the kill switch, I might do a video in the coming months of my install. They're brilliant, they can hot wire it and it's just not going to start. They're not going to find out where that switch is that you've put in. And then we come on to trackers. Now, we can do it cheap. Fast forward an hour, I've just had Anne sat next to me who had been on a walk, and we got chatting. I like chatting to people. And she used to be an operating theatre nurse at the local hospital, and we know the same people. So that was lovely. She's a really nice person. Asked her what makes her happy. This scene. Let me just change the angle of the camera. Hang on. That, we both sat and looked at that. It's just lovely. Right, come back to me, my lovelies. Where were trackers? The Apple AirTags, and you can get the Android ones now for Samsung and just generic ones. They're good and they're cheap, but if you've got an Apple AirTag and a thief's got an Apple phone, he knows, and he's going to find it and throw it out. Maybe you get an Apple one and an Android one, or we can go for the more expensive trackers. But now the issue with quite a few of them is, sadly, that thieves, for high-end thefts, are bringing GPS spoofers and they're blocking the signal. It's just a war of attrition of finding the latest tech and then updating it over and over. But the more security devices you have, the more you slow them down. The statistics are there that they'll give like a minute and a half, 2 minutes to try and get your van going. If you can delay them more than that, the more opportunistic thief will give up and go. Yeah, that's worth thinking about. Let's look at those stats again. So there you go. That's my list. How would you secure your van? Have you lost your van? And if so, sadly, what could you have done to avoid it? Now, nothing's going to be foolproof. I mean, I've seen videos of cars that are in secure locations and, they're high value targets. and they will go. They will be picked up. It's a sad fact of life. One of the things I did with my van, I was going to refurbish the wheels because they're those old steel ones, they're rusty. But my thought was, well, they work, they do the bit, and if I refurb it and make it look nice, it'll probably make it more attractive. So I haven't. I've actually left my van as crappy as can be. Just get the way it is. Make it look like it's not worth stealing. Now I know for a lot of us out there, we like our vans. There's the VW Brigade, which are really proud of being that community. I've seen some immaculate converted Sprinter vans, and I get it. You know, we take pride in our things, and no one wants. You know, it's only people like me who don't really care about what others think, what we've got. I don't do my van because I'm saying, hey, look at me, look how fab this is. In fact, I'm the polar opposite. The whole reason I live my life as I do is I'm not beholden to worrying what Joe Blogs next door thinks of how successful I am. That's it. I hope I've given you some food for thought, some ideas. The stats are really worrying, but I want to bring a positive spin on what we can do about it. You can close down the chances of people taking your van by being aware of what you're doing. Now, the irony would be if we get back to where I parked Jen and she's not there. So many people out walking today. Absolutely gorgeous. This is spring at its best. Look at these. Absolutely beautiful. Oi, camera. Me. Look at these. It's just wonderful. Absolutely beautiful day. I'm warbling. So, that's my van life ideas for security, anti-theft in 2025. I'm Martin, this is Only Vans Guru. If you've got any other positive thoughts on how not to get your van, your pride and joy stolen, leave it in the comments. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks for following. Do give it a thumbs, a like, subscribe, you know, keep that ball rolling. I might make enough money to get a slightly newer van one day. Anyway, take care. Tune in on Sunday for my mindful musings. Have a lovely day, and in everything, as always, be kind.